Good morning. We're back again. Let's Find Out is on the road, and today we are at the home of Mr. Edgar Valdivia and his lovely wife Pat, and I hope we can get her out here a little bit later. We've come to visit and see their yard and find out what kind of beautiful trees they've got in their yard and the lovely fruit that he has been growing for 35 years living at this property. So hang in there, here we go. So I'd like to introduce to you Pat and Edgar Valdivia. This is their home. And how many years have you guys been here?
35 years.
35?
Right.
Oh my goodness. This is a dragon fruit.
Yeah.
And we've got a whole row of them up here. I see a yellow one up there. Yeah. I see a little red one there. I think. How many varieties have you got, Edgar?
I have maybe 25 different types.
25 varieties.
Yes, yes.
And some of those you've developed yourself.
Mostly I'm trying to develop the new ones, try to improve the flavor of the dragon fruit, you know, because in the beginning the dragon fruit was completed by one type, yeah. Was coming from Vietnam, and nobody knew about dragon fruit in that time. And little by little we learned, and I can tell you this, how naive we were in that time when I saw the dragon fruit. I've been thinking it was the flower, red flowers. That's what I was attracted to. Oh my God, what a beautiful red flower. And it was the fruit. I can tell you how naive we were in here in the United States about the dragon fruit. Dragon fruit is called pitahaya.
Pitahaya, right.
Yes. And then I got involved. I've been working that 20 years till today. And I developed so many new types, good flavors.
All right, so we're in front of one of your favorite of the dragon fruit. What have we got here?
This particular is called Tricia.
Tricia.
Okay. It's a wonderful fruit, but it's completely different from the regular dragon fruit. This is not round fruit. This is elongated, oval, elongated. Okay. And the pulp inside is red. The bricks are almost 19. It's very sweet. The only setback of this particular fruit is that the leaves has big thorns, as you can see there.
I don't want to back into them.
Yeah, but the fruit is excellent. Yeah. It's not self-fertile, has to be cross-pollinated. And
is this one that you developed?
No, I crossbreeded this one. Okay. Because the parent of this one is from Mexico, Grullo. Grullo is being crossed with a regular undatos, and that's how we got this one. The fruit is excellent, and it's very delicious.
Okay, Edgar, tell me a little about these plants along here.
As you can see, I have a lot of different types of dragon fruits growing in here. Why I choose this particular way of growing? Because I have to protect from the cold weather, and the wall of my house irradiates heat, so that protects it in the winter. That's why they are against the wall. As you know, the dragon fruit, to be able to produce fruit, has to be cross-pollinated, the flower. The flower opens at 8 o'clock at the night and closes at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's not bees to be able to do the pollination. So they has to be hand-pollinated, or the bats are the ones who will do the pollination. But since I don't have bats, so actually I have to do the pollination at night time. But my idea, growing together like that, then we will have all different type of flowers, so cross-pollination will be done at 6 o'clock in the morning. The weather is already warm and bees will be able to come. So I'm hoping that bees will be able to do the cross-pollination. And you know, we're working very hard now try to develop a dragon fruit that will be self-fertile, so we don't have to do hand pollination, because hand pollination is a lot of consuming time, and so many people they don't want to do it. But the pollination has to be done no matter what. And you know that all the flowers, not only dragon fruit, avocados, citrus, all the flowers they had to be pollinated, cross-pollinated, or pollinated by the bees. So that's why it's very important to us keep the bees alive and protecting, because we dependent and then too much in the pollination of the fruit. If you are a commercial grower in this particular scene, you have to grow it separated in trellises. And so you put one line of white bulbs, one line of pink bulbs, and another line of red, because there are only three types according to the color of the pulp. You know, they are the red ones, they are not originated from Nicaragua, the pink ones from Guatemala, and the regular undatos, the white one, that is actually native, original from Central America, but we call it Vietnamese type.
How cold can these get?
Over here they get, the dragon fruit can tolerate up to 30.
Okay, Edgar, we're now at another stand of your catayas, and you want to explain what this is and why you've done it this way. So,
this particular row I have in here, these plants are almost 19 years old. As you can see, the dragon fruit can live up to maybe 50 years. And mostly of them, they are grown in pots. They don't have a tap root. The root system is very shallow, and you can grow it in pots, 15-gallon pots. And then the dragon fruit can be cross-pollinated, the white to the pink or the red. So in that way, you don't have to worry about cross-pollinated, because automatically they are close. And then when you sell it, you know what you're selling to the customer. You sell it to the whites, okay, pure whites, the price is lower. The pinks are more sweet, so the price is more higher, and the reds, they have more antioxidants. That's why you can sell the current. But since we are not in here a commercial, we are just hobby growers. You know, mostly of us, I hope so. You know, everybody's member of California Real Fruit Growers, and then you grow in your backyard different type of fruits. One of these ones is good for you to grow. The fruit is delicious. It's brand new. It's just getting introduced into the United States, and now it's getting popular. It's being sold in mostly the markets.
So we've got some examples over here. Why don't you?
Yes.
Let's walk over there, and maybe you can explain just what we're looking at here.
Okay. I can show you in this board. As you can see in here, when I mentioned the red and the pink, you can see the three different types of dragon fruit only. The white ones, the undatos, the pink one, you know, that is mostly original from the Guatemala, and the red, deep red, is from Nicaragua. So those are the main three bases of the dragon fruits. And of course, you know, in the pink ones we have maybe 10 different types of pink ones. In the white ones we have maybe 7 different types, and the red ones we have almost 9 types. So there are quite a few types.
Yeah.
And then you can see in here, this is another type of dragon fruit that has become very popular now, and it's because of the flavor. It's very sweet, very deep. It's called Selinoceros megalanthus, and this one is originally from Colombia, but now it's been growing in Ecuador a lot.
Yeah. That's where I had my first one, in Ecuador.
So now you can eat this wonderful dragon fruit that is very difficult to grow in here in California because it's very tropical. You can find it in the markets, but the problem is very expensive. You got to pay $8 for each. So you can grow it in here in United States, but the weather has to be warm. I've been trying to grow in here a lot, but the cold weather don't allow me to grow. They don't develop big, and
they're
bad
sweet.
part of this,
These are very, very sweet.
Yeah, but the bad part of this one, compared to the regular dragon fruits, this one from bottom to pick up the fruit takes 60 days. That's the whole cycle. I mean, from bottom to flower is 30 days, and then in 30 days you do the hand pollination, and then 30 days after the fruit is ready. And this one that has good flavor, the bad part is that from bottom to fruit to pick up takes 7 months.
Oh my.
That's why it's not good for, because it takes more. And then the fruit has thorns, big thorns.
Right.
that this requires a lot of labor to pick them up, and they're very difficult to. So then it's very tropical. So yes, to be honest, to tell you the truth, and here we've been working 20 years in dragon fruit. We have very good, wonderful dragon fruits that they are better than this one. So if you want to grow dragon fruit, yes, get the ones in here in California. Then we have a wonderful ones, and then you don't have to wait 7 months.
Now,
Yes.
in their native country, what is it? Bees also, or other insects?
They
or
have
bats.
in tropical countries they have a lot of bats.
Bats.
And they have a lot of insects that they do pollination at nighttime. And then at nighttime go get the pollen from the stigma
So right
to
up here,
the from the pollen from here from the anthers to the stigma.
up to the stigma.
Yeah, as you
So
see
the male part here and the female part up here.
yes, and
Okay.
you see this very far away, also almost
Yep.
2 inches long.
Yep.
So there's no way the pollen can reach there.
Right.
So somebody has to be able to put it. Then I mentioned to you that Tricia was a wonderful fruit. You have it here. That's the shape of Tricia. You see, it's not round. It's
Very
elongated.
elongated.
Yeah, it has thorns.
Yeah.
This is another one that I've been working to. This is the only pitahaya with a red flower, because normally the pitahaya has a white flower.
Like down here.
Yeah, like here. And now we have a red flower. It's called Asunta. I've been working down 20 years already, tried to improve the fruit, because the fruit in the beginning was very small, and little by little I make it big. So now I am in Asunta 5. So Asunta 5 is almost 1 pound, and very delicious, and the red flower.
So how do you make them big?
You cross-pollinate it. You remember when
But when you cross-pollinate, what do you look for on this one and that one?
Yes, and let me tell you, when you want to improve the fruit, you have the chance. The only way you can do it without getting into Monsanto do
Yeah.
chemical stuff or so many things, you can do it by yourself and the hand. And what you do is, first of all, you have the flower that is going to be acting as a mother, and that has to be from the same family. Then you choose another one that is bigger fruit with the better taste, whatever. So you want to put it into that particular flower to be able to develop fruit. So what you do first is you cut the anthers of the mother flower. So it's called it's castrating the flower. So then it's not going to be
Yeah.
pollen coming
so
up
bees
here.
are gone. Those
Yeah.
can't pollinate.
Then you get the pollen from the other plant that is a bigger fruit, very taste, and you put that pollen into the stigma. This is the female part. And once you do that, after you do that, automatically you put a paper sack,
Put something over
protect
to
it, so
protect.
then no bees, no insects are going to come and there and put another pollen from something else. Automatically, after 5 days, the pollen went all the way to the ovary and start develop a new fruit down there. And once the fruit has been developed, you don't have to worry about it. The only thing you have to wait 30 days when the fruit is ready. Don't eat the seeds. Save those seeds, because those seeds are already hybridized. And then you plant those seeds in the ground, and it's matter of luck after that. Which directions the plant, the new plants, they're going to be? They're going to be towards the mother or towards the father, or in between. You never know when you hybridize how it's going to be. So, and remember, each seed, even if they come from the same fruit, each seed produces a different type of fruit. All of them, they will be similar, almost alike, but with different variation, flavors or things. So each seed will be different. And
Amazing.
yeah, once you get the seeds, you have to plant it, and there's where you need patience. Because remember, that seed has to grow, and it's going to take 7 years or 5 years to give you fruit. So you don't know what you're getting. So you have to be patient and just wait till you finally, that plant start producing flowers and fruit, and then you taste it. Once you taste it, you say, oh my God, I wasted 7 years. Or if you are lucky, you get a very good fruit and you say, oh my God,
Wow.
that is the pleasure, It's something that you don't actually making too much money, you don't do nothing, but keeps you busy and keeps your mind busy. And remember, the reward, once you get a new fruit, nobody can compensate that with money. When
That's
it's
right.
excellent taste for you, that you created something, and then you can put any name that you wanted because it's a plant that you started from seed.
I noticed that many of your fruits have the name either Valdivia or Edgar or Patricia or Tricia on them.
And
Yeah?
Michelle, yes. I
Michelle?
try to put
Good.
the names of my daughters.
You get
of
to
my
name
family.
them.
Yeah.
You make
because
it.
you know, remember, then you give it away cuttings to the people, because
Yeah.
I want to tell you very clearly, I never sold any plant, I never sold anything from my orchard. Always I give it free to the public to enjoy it. And as they enjoy it, that plant will keep on growing, then give it away, propagate it, and then the name will be there forever.
Yep.
I will die, but Edgar's name in the plant will be there forever. So that's a very good thing that you can live in.
So Edgar, one question that we've been asked is people have tried pollinating their dragon fruit and it turns yellow and dies. So what's going on? What's wrong?
The problem with that particular thing is that you don't did cross-pollinated. You pollinated, but with the same pollen from the same flower. Has to be different variety of plant. Remember, that's why we have three types: red, white, and pink. So the white, you put the pink or the red, and the pink when you put the white or the red. That is cross-pollinated, because mostly ourselves, even myself in the beginning, I don't even know what was dragon fruit. I mentioned to you that I was confused. I think the fruit was the flower, and a lot of people, they don't know that. So the best thing when somebody's going to start it is better to start with three different cuttings: white, pink, and red.
So cut the pollen out, take it over to the other fruit, the other color fruit, put it on it,
Yes.
and vice versa.
Yes, yes. What I
Okay.
do mostly, what you can do, since I have so many different types, I come up at 8 o'clock in the night with a little glass jar in my chest, my light, and my scissors. So I come in and I cut the anthers of the flowers, and I put it in the glass jar. I go to another plant, I cut another one, put in the glass jar. Go to another one, and then I put so many different flowers, then I mix it. So I already have cross pollen in there, and then after that I start pollinating all of them, and by sure they give me fruit 100%. So 60 days you get a grapefruit.
So I recognize this, and I hope those of you watching do also. These are not caterpillars. This is one of my favorite fruits. Edgar, tell us.
This is a mulberry. This is the Pakistani mulberry. Mulberries, there are 4 or 5 different types so far. In the beginning, the mulberry was small, black, and it sting your hands so much. So then a guy came out with a white mulberry, small one, that was good taste. But then, small fruits, so we want a big fruit. So then we find out that the Pakistani is a very long, it's almost 2 inches long, but very sweet, very tasty, and produces a lot. But the problem is, has a lot of steam. When you're eating, your hands, and if you drop in your clothes, then become black. So then we got the ones from India, Hunza and that is the same size as this one, but it's white. Don't has any color,
stain.
nothing at all, and the flavor is very sweet. As a matter of fact, my wife says, "Oh, I don't like those because they are too sweet." This is one wonderful fruit, but to me, the other one from India, the Hunza, is better because don't sting and don't make a mess, and it's very sweet. They are good because they tolerate cold weather. They produce a lot of fruit, mostly for the birds. And if I sit down in there and watch the birds come and eating, beautiful birds eating the mulberries,
That's beautiful.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I hope you can see the different color of these three. They're all from the same tree. It's just that one of them is much riper than the other three. So this would be the ripest one here. This one maybe looks better, but it's not puffed out quite as much. And then these two. So this is the one you want to eat, although all three are going to be good. So we'll start off with, let's start off with this one, a very green one in comparison. These white, they're called Hunsa.
They're from
Hunsa, these are from India. These are really, really sweet.
very.
Oh my. Your mouth just bursts with the sweetness, the flavor of it. Okay, we'll try the really ripe one. Wow, twice as sweet. Oh, this is a lovely tree. This is a lovely tree. They're ripe when they're yellow or green, and just delicious fruit. So we're standing next to a Japanese. Okay, this is a Japanese loquat, and look at the shape of these. They're very, very long and elongated, and so I'll take a bite here. Very juicy. This one is ripe. Very sweet, only one seed in this one, but some of the rest of these have more than one. And you can see the juice in it just ready to pour out on my hand. Very sweet, very mellow flavor to this one. Has almost an orange flavor to it. Not really citrusy, but an orange flavor.
I really like this one. This to me is my favorite. And remember, it's very early in the season. Normally when it's the season, they are twice big as this.
Wow.
And they are so good.
Huge. Bigger than the big Jim.
Yeah. And you know, the problem with this one, normally the sun gets burned. But this one tolerates the sun very well.
Wow.
That's why the canopy too is big, so that protects from the sun. But they're doing very good. It's called the Japanese type.
Japanese. Okay.
And
just very, very good. So what we have here, Edgar, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got an orange quat.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been grafted into trifolia. Mostly my citrus are grafted into trifolia because if you plant from seed, the plant will grow, but the life of that particular plant, it will be short, maybe 5 or 6 years. They will. So I recommend if you're gonna plant citrus, yes, grafted that citrus into trifolia. Trifolia is a good root system, will tolerate all the germs in the ground, and that plant will live longer than you. So it's good to, that's why you see in the nurseries, mostly the plants are sold now grafted. And then once it's grafted, you don't have to wait 7 or 8 years to get fruit. In a grafted tree, in 3 years, you will have fruit. Remember, doing grafting is the best. That's why California Grapefruit Growers has a good program that's teaching mostly the students in all the high school how to do grafting. Because doing grafting, you can save money. You don't have to buy so many different type of trees. You can have in one tree 4 different type of fruits.
I can hardly wait to taste this.
Yes.
Orange quat. Remember, on any of the kumquat varieties, or that have been grafted or crossed, I should say, with the kumquat varieties, you can eat the skin. This one is not as sweet as a normal kumquat, but it has a real orangey flavor, very, very juicy. Pleasant amount of tanginess to it. You can taste both the kumquat and the orange in this.
And you can see the difference.
These are miwas.
Yes.
This is a very small miwa, actually. Miwa is one of my favorites. Round in shape. Should be very sweet inside.
It is. It's excellent. Very good.
Good.
You know,
Let me cut one.
my grandson comes and gets those and eats, pops them up like candy.
Yep.
One after another one. With the skin, with everything. They are sweet, you know. It's amazing how you can eat a citrus with the skin and no acid, and the flavor is excellent.
The flavor on these is really good. Needs to get a little bit bigger. Needs to be.
It's because of the weather.
So, what are we going to talk about next? Well, for those of you that don't know this fruit, it is a
Cherimoya.
Cherimoya. These are delicious.
It's a brand new fruit that now has become popular in the United States, you know, because of the weather. It's a semi-tropical and requires a special type of weather. But they grow in here, and here in Simi Valley, I've been trying to make them grow very good. It's very delicious, and the inside of the fruit, you can see
oh boy.
look, this one don't have too many seeds.
No, it doesn't.
The Cherimoya has normally a lot of seeds. We're trying to have the Cherimoya with less seeds, and the taste is delicious. Has seeds, maybe.
Oh my.
A regular Cherimoya maybe has 50 seeds. This one has only 12 or 13 seeds. The idea is we're trying to grow the Cherimoya with no seeds. So we are working in Spain and in UC Davis in here to get the Cherimoya with no seed. So how we do that, we got the gene from the castor apple that don't have seeds, and we put those genes into the Cherimoya. And now the Cherimoya is going to become with no seed. But the problem we will run, remember, it takes 7 or 8 years to know the results. So we are waiting. They're doing that in Spain and over here in UC Davis. How are we going to be there with the result? You know, the problem is once you eliminate the seed, remember all the sweetness are developed because of the seed. Example of that is the watermelon. The watermelon before we had seeds was very sweet, very tasty. And now they have the watermelon with no seed, the sweet went away. So the seed is what, and mostly in the center of any fruit is where there's more sugar, is because normally the seed is there, so that's why it's more sweet. If we develop the Cherimoya with no seed, we will run into that problem. But the problem here in America, we are so spoiled, we don't like to take seeds from our mouth. Taking the seeds out, that's no good. So that will be good for the marketing to be able to sell the Cherimoya with no seed, and the flavor will be excellent. You know, the point is that we have to see if that's going to work. But so far we have a Cherimoya like this. Example, this one with 10 seeds only, and there are almost 30 types of Cherimoyas already growing in here in United States. You know, the best one to me is the white and the bay. We have in here the one that is pink inside. You know, it's called Selma, but the problem with that one is good, delicious, but the problem is pink. And people they are used to see white. And when they see a pink, they say, oh, this is bad. They throw them away. So that's why it's not popular. But that we have, back there is the Selma. I have in here 30 different types of Cherimoya that they grow in. Very difficult to grow them, very good because of the cold weather. And another problem the Cherimoya has to be hand-pollinated because the flower is not attractive. It's a small flower colored green and it's too close. So no insect will go there because it's not attractive. In South America, they have a special trip that goes in there, is able to do the pollination. But in here, we don't have that one. Many years ago, a doctor from the university brought the trips to introduce in California, but the winter came and killed the trip. So far, we don't have any insects to do that. The only people that they grow Cherimoyas in a big quantity commercial, they have to do hand pollination every day. You know, the flower is small, has 3 petals. When it has 2 stages. The first stage is female, and then it's closed. When it starts opening up just a little bit, it's female. Once it opens completely, the 3 petals in the afternoon becomes male. That's when you have to go with a brush, take the pollen out of that, save it into a little cup, and then put it in the refrigerator, and then next day do the pollination, the females with a little brush you put in the, by sure that flower is going to become fruit.
So Edgar, we came here today with one thing that we wanted to talk about, and that is this fruit right here that we're both holding, and this tree right behind us. This is the
Lucuma tree.
Lucuma tree, and we have a very good reason to talk about this today because very soon we're going to be planting a lucuma, and maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, lucuma is comes from the family of the Sapotacceae. Lucuma tree is native from Peru and grows in altitude of 1500. It's been introduced, this lucuma tree, many years ago by our good member Alfredo Chiri, that he passed away. Matter of fact, what we're going to be doing and now is we're going to be planting a lucuma tree in Long Beach,
Right.
and his name. So we'll be growing in there as a memory of him because he worked so many years in the lucuma, and especially he helped to develop the fruits in the Fullerton Arboretum. Lucuma, as I say, is a native from Peru. Is very difficult to grow because the problem is once you plant them from seed, take 15 or 18 years to develop fruit. But if you grafted the tree, then you will have fruit in 6 years. So it's better when you get involved with this particular plant, get a grafted plant, then you will don't have to wait 15 years. The fruit inside is, the pulp is yellow, you know, like the canistel. This particular fruit is famous because you can make ice cream so delicious that it's very popular in Europe. The French peoples monopolize all the powder of the lucuma to be actually to take it there and make ice cream. What you do with the fruit, you pick it up and then you let it dry and you make a powder, and from the powder you make ice cream. Or you can eat it too fresh. You know, they have 3 types. They have the type, it's called seda, that is very easy to eat it. Yes, it's straight like that. It's sweet, it's and good flavor. And you have the palo. The palo is the one is used mostly for making powder to make ice cream. And you have the other type, it's called Kona, that is very delicious, you can eat it. But you know who eats mostly the time? The squirrels. They love to eat. So learn to share your fruit with the animals. Remember, everybody has the right to live. Remember that you have to share. If you get 200 fruits from one tree, how many you can eat? Maybe 5 or 6. The rest, what you do? Just fall down the floor and it's wasted. At least let somebody take advantage, enjoy it, and keep the nature going alive. My wife made it such a ice cream to be able to share with you guys, and you can see how good and delicious it is. It's up to you guys to give your opinion about the lucuma.
We'll try real hard.
And remember, Alfredo Chiri was the one actually developed and worked very hard into that. That's why we will remember him. He was a member of the
Orange County.
Yep. And the California Refugee Growers. And over here we have my wife, Pat.
Here's Pat back with,
Here
oh
I
boy.
am.
Gee, what do you have there, Pat?
This is Lucuma ice cream, and I want you to tell me what it tastes like to you, because for me it tastes a lot like a maple.
You're going to give us a, you're going to
I'm
give
gonna
us,
you a little
okay.
sample of ice cream.
Okay.
And it's a little bit hard. I just took it out, so
Okay.
I hope you can dig in and
Oh
enjoy
boy,
it.
oh boy, oh boy.
It's not.
It is hard.
Yes, I took it out and it hasn't really.
Let's see if it's
Oh
true.
boy, oh the smell, like, yeah, it smells like maple. Very sweet smell.
Does our cameraman have to just watch?
He has to just watch.
What
Tell him
a,
all about
I
it.
have to tell him what it tastes like.
what a wonderful
Oh
fruit.
man,
Do you see?
I agree. That tastes just like maple.
And there's nothing, no artificial, just the milks that you use and
Wow.
the fruit.
Did you use sugar in this?
I use condensed milk.
Condensed. Oh, you
yes.
got a little sweetener
That
there.
very much so.
I know Edgar loves sweet.
He does. That's why he fell in love with me.
So
And you know what?
I hate to stand between you
Oh,
then.
that's all right.
And let me tell you this, you know what? In our hobby, the good thing we have is that I am involved in growing the plants, and my wife is involved a lot in doing publication and cooking and how to use the fruit. So it's good that you grow good fruits and bring it inside either to your husband or your wife, and you will get the reward with love.
Absolutely.
Very much. And I want to put in a plug for my husband.
Please.
I'm his number one cheering
Please,
fan.
go right over
I,
there.
I think you all know the story of Johnny Appleseed. Or I just know the really cartoon version. I don't know too much about how much is fact and how much is legend. But the one thing I remember is that he went around giving or planting seeds, and just because of the love that he had for apples. Well, as Ed said earlier, he gives everything. You come to his house, he will give you a plant, or he'll give you a cutting, or he'll give you a seed, or at least he'll share something that we've made with the fruit. And so I think he's the Johnny, I can't say Appleseed, the Johnny Fruit Giver of our organization.
And
what
thanks all of that to California Red Fruit Growers, because through them and all the members that belong there is that we learn how to grow those wonderful plants and share with them all the good plants. So join our organization, California Red Fruit Growers. It's a nice hobby, cheap hobby, and you have a very good reward with the fruit that you're growing.
And the friends that you make.
And plus besides, instead to be watching TV, sitting in there getting rotten, go into your garden and water your plants, grow them, and when you eat the fruit, you will eat fruit that is no chemicals, no contamination, and the more wonderful thing is something that you did it, you grew it, and then that is the big reward that you will have.
So what we have here is another one of Edgar's ideas that has turned into a new type of fruit. So you want to tell what we've got?
These ones I planted from seed. You know, they're supposed to be a cross between orange and grapefruit. Becomes very delicious. You know, I plant so many from seed, but all of them they are just a little different. This one is called Big Ed because it's huge and the flavor is excellent. It's easy to peel like an orange, and then when you eat it, it's sweet, tasty like an orange, but when you swallow, you have just a little mile of the grapefruit. So we have Big Ed, we have Patty Light, another with the name of my wife. It's smaller, it's more sweet. It's easy to grow from seed. The way you grow this one, you peel the seed, you take the husk out of the seed, and then you plant only the embryo. In 1 week, you will have, or 2 weeks, you will have a sprout already coming out. But if you don't take the skin from the seed, it will take you 4 or 5 months. So I recommend every time you want to plant a citrus, peel the skin out and just plant the embryo into a small soil, and then they will grow fast. But remember, you have to wait 6 or 7 years to get fruit. What I recommend, once the tree is growing, graft it into an older tree. So automatically that new branch will get more energy and will be able to produce fruit early. You can taste that one. And
Well, I definitely would like to taste this one. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and easy to peel.
Easy. Oh, really? Well,
Yeah, like an orange.
yeah.
See?
Very simple.
It's don't have a hard skin.
Just comes right off.
Yes. It's pure like an orange. This one is very light skin. The only thing I hate in this one is that has seeds. It will be without seeds, that will be great. But that's the name of the game, you know, you never
That's what the next thing you're gonna do.
eliminate the seeds.
Eliminate the seeds. So it's got kind of grapefruit-like seeds.
Tell me, how you like that one?
Very tasty. Very
I
juicy,
tell
very
you, this
tasty.
is a good fruit. That's why it's called
Amazing.
Big Ed and Pat the Light.
I think I know who Ed
Anytime
is.
you will come to my house, you will have a chance to taste this. I will give it to you, one fruit free, with no problem. And then seeds, you can plant it. Remember, they will grow from seeds, very easy. We're going to be talking about this particular citrus that in my 20 years of experience, I never saw something like that. You know, normally when you graft a tree, that is the only way you can clone a fruit. So the graft will give you fruits identical to the parent that you graft. In this case, this is a lemon tree, and the lemon is like that. Okay, I graft the bigot, special citrus that I have it growing in here, and the smooth of the skin of the bigot has to be smooth, you know, like a regular orange. But now look, got the skin bumpy, original like the citrus, but it's completely different, you know. And I never saw that change physically the fruit, because the fruit has to be smooth, and then now it's bumpy like the, I will show you. You peel it like this, easy to peel, identical like the mother of the citrus. Look this. So I cannot believe why the original fruit that is supposed to be a smooth skin and change the outer skin completely, and the flavor. Taste this one. Eat it.
Smells like an orange. Very juicy, a little sour like a grapefruit.
Yes. Because bigot
Yeah,
has the
Very-
flavor of an orange when you eat it, and when you swallow it, you have the flavor of the grapefruit.
the grapefruit, yeah.
But the amazing part is, I graft that one into this citrus, and the fruit becomes bumpy. Don't supposed to be that way. Never supposed to change the fruit when you graft it.
Right.
And the original citrus is this. Taste the original citrus. This is special lemon too.
Oh my goodness, sour, 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 sour. Very sour.
But the
No flavor, not anywhere near the same flavor. No.
and why?
But
my,
why?
my question: why bumpy?
Yeah,
Identical like the mother
yeah.
citrus. I never saw that the fruit changed when you graft, but this is one of the maybe 1 in a million cases that the fruit changed
Wow.
when it was grafted. And then we have in here quite a few.
Yep.
The queens that actually normally the queen is very hard, difficult to eat. Normally it's being grown to make marmalades, but this one is being crossed with an apple. So now we call queen's apple. Oh, it's very juicy, taste it, and you don't have to cook it. You can eat it straight through it.
Wow.
And now it's become very popular.
So Edgar, thank you so very, very much for today, for allowing us to come and visit your wonderful garden. And I'd like to suggest that all of you that are viewing this, take note. This man is an institution all by himself. What a wonderful day of information we've had. You've taught me a lot of things that I had no idea about with regard to dragon fruit, with regard to some of the other fruits that we've seen and eaten and observed, like this one. Things that I've never heard of before. You are a bonus to our organization to be able to tell about these things, and that we can now share them, and I hope all of you will also have learned something. So give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, share this with your friends. Everybody needs to see this film, and others.